All right, this is Calabos, and
I'm
we are
gone.
playing Planescape Torment. So I am wondering, because remember I had left stuff in piles all over the room in here, and
Done.
it's all gone. So I'm wondering if I have lost a bunch of the things that I need to complete quests. So what I'm probably going to end up having to do is just kind of like kill Nestor and then move on from there, but I would rather not if I don't have to. But I came back here to rest and then check all the stuff. So it is what it is. So let's go find Grossick.
I'm gone.
So I think Clerk's Ward was where
I'm gone.
Sebastian is. What is this? Oh, it's a brothel.
I'm gone.
Fall from grace.
Well met, traveler. How may I help you?
Um,
Updated my journal.
you are new to Sigil, are you not? Yes, I am. Does it show? Not as much as you might think. You carry yourself quite well. What is this place? Brothel of slating intellectual lusts. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question you did not intend to partake of this establishment. What kind of brothel is this? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression than simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation, engaging in verbal arts with others. Why did you establish such a place? That's an odd question. She frowns. I don't think anybody has ever asked me that before, at least directly. So why did you? Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. This raffle is intended to slate the lusts of even the hardened intellectual. It is designed to stimulate the mind, to heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. It is for those who seek something more than the shallow physical pleasures that fill the hive in the lower wards. Um, Women here are aspiring sensates. They've come to me in search of instruction to prepare themselves to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crest of most hardened individuals. Yes, I had hoped by learning the art of language and its subtleties that the patrons and its students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as their command of the language. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. Um, your companion is correct. I am a lesser Tenari, more specifically a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh.
Updated
And
my
you,
journal.
I like to think that I've distanced myself from that. It's ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There's much more to life, wouldn't you agree? Uh, what kind of help are you looking for? I seem to have lost my memories, and so doing, I've lost myself. You've been stricken with amnesia? Fall from grace looks pained. How terrible. Do you have any idea how it happened? Not really, at least not that I can remember. I woke up on a slab in the mortuary and everything before that is black. You woke up in the mortuary? I think the dustman mistook me for being dead, or I was dead, or something. All I know is that I regenerate wounds quickly and I could be immortal, but I don't even know that for sure. Fall from Grace seems to be appraising you with renewed interest. Those scars on your body. She reaches out a hand as if to touch you. May I? Sure. Fall from Grace drags your finger across your chest lightly, tracing the edges of your scars and following the curves so they blend into some of your tattoos. She seems fascinated. Those scars do look as if they would have taken several lifetimes to accumulate. Some of these wounds would have been fatal to a normal man. She taps her chin, thinking, what do you intend to do now? Scour the plains. I need to get my memories back, and my life back. I intend to scour the plains and search inside myself until I can piece together who I am and what brought me to this state. Fall from Grace is still thinking, her finger tapping on her chin. I must say, I've never met a man who had lost himself in the literal sense. She raises an eyebrow. Forgive me, but your condition is intriguing. Intriguing. Frightening is more like it. I don't like not knowing who I am, what I may have done, who my enemies are, and who are my friends. I have offended you with my words. If it will help, you're welcome to tour the brothel. Several of our students are well versed in the verbal arts. Perhaps some of them will be able to rekindle your memories.
Updated my journal.
Travel with you. Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring Anna. That's rather forward of you. It's the way I am. You mean... you wish me to, then there's something you must do for me. There are 10 students in this establishment. I would like you to speak to all of them, then return to me with your thoughts. Then we shall see if we will travel together or not.
Updated my journal.
Sweet. Patron. Alright. I'm called Delora. May I serve you somehow? In what ways can you serve me? She blinks her eyes, then touches her hand to her heart, bowing her head slightly. I am able to debate any scholarly or academic matter quite proficiently, if that is your wish. I'm also well versed in various games of strategy, should you wish to play something. Though I have the materials for various few such games. Debate, you say? That is correct. I am neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions and their effects on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle stratagems for warring in Acheron, the meaning of existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpoint and engage you in debate. Choose a topic and begin. The debate lasts a long time as the two of you exchange points and counterpoints, each attempting to methodically undermine the other's position. As you speak, a strange feeling begins to come over you. Sweet memory. Memories of a great hall begin to form of your mind, a vast place full of well-dressed elites. A formal ball was taking place. Before you was a small, impeccably dressed fellow who wore a golden medallion. It was emblazoned with a symbol that you dimly recall as the sign of one. The two of you stood in a circle of onlookers who gathered to listen to your debate. But that's impossible, the man was saying, looking perplexed. Oh, but it is, you recall yourself replying. I've made several inarguable points and given you a number of examples. You simply don't exist. But you can't. Were I to accept that, you'd cease to exist. And with a flash of light or puff of smoke, The man was simply gone. The onlookers oohed and awed, some clapped. You remember giving a flourishing bow and walk away, a small satisfied smile upon your lips. If you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time, should you desire it. Wait, are you always so ruthless? Mistress Grace instructed me to show no mercy, for another of her students always allows a patron to win. After a lengthy debate, it was Mistress Grace's desire that I provide a different sort of experience for the clientele. Don't really remember any games here. Allow me to show you one. Yes. She explains. It's probably either Go or checkers. Oh man, 2 memories out of this. That's super helpful. Smoke-filled field of battle began to fill your mind. Atop a great hill overlooking the fighting, you sat mounted upon a massive 4-legged beast. The braying of horns carries your orders to the troops below. Even as you watched, your forces divided, fleeing left and right as the foreign army fought its way up the hill to slay the enemy lord. You. The fools, you had thought, lips curling in a wicked smile. My knights shall charge down the hillside and stop their advance in an instant. At that very moment, my retreating footmen will fall in to crush their flanks. Yet another victory to be mine. Delore plays excellently, counteracting all but your most crafty moves, but eventually your feints and calculating maneuvers win over her well-crafted strategies. She nods approvingly as she begins to put the game away. You are a fine player, perhaps a master. I commend you for your skill. I'm willing to serve you as a patron, but I have no wish to answer other questions at this time. My apologies, but I fear you shall simply have to bear with that for the time.
Updated my journal.
My troubles are a matter of the heart. In time, I think all things shall be resolved. Are you certain there's nothing I could do? Certain? She pauses as if thinking. No, I am not. My first love, Merriman, possesses still.
Updated my journal.
Ah. Modron. Greetings. Its voice has a soft, metallic, reverberating quality to it, as if it were more than sound played out on some warped musical instrument than true speech. Your greeting is returned. There's a soft click as the creature blinks. An awkward silence hangs in the air. Not sure how I am. Don't know. I can't remember. All things should have a name. All things should be identified. We find your answer unsatisfactory, but it shall have to suffice for the present. The creature pauses and blinks at you. We would identify ourselves as Modron's quadrone type, winged variant to the subject. What are you doing here? Our purpose is observation. What are you observing? One of the establishment staff. Who are you observing? Why are you watching her? We've not been informed as the specific purpose or purposes which resulted in our being given our present task. The command of our superior pentadrone is sufficient reason to perform said task. As such, the purpose or purposes are irrelevant to us. Okay. This is a building located in the section of Sigil commonly known as the Clerk's Ward. We cannot give exact coordinates, as the surface of Sigil changes in intervals we have not yet determined as of the present. The building itself is known as the Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lusts. It serves as what may be broadly defined as a language school. The students of the school are primarily females who intend to, at some point we have not yet determined, which varies from student to student, become a factotum of the Society of Sensation. No, that's pretty much it. These are patrons. So let's check this one out. This Tail Chaser. Greetings, I am Vest. The Tail Chaser. Have you come to trade tails? I'd like to trade tails. Go on. Chapters on the Dead Book, the massive tome which the Dustmen keep the records for the passing of all lives into the eternal boundary. In the book there are chapters that are not but dust. It's believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die but must suffer life eternally until... Oh, that's interesting. Yes, then I should tell you the tale of the clock and the quadron. Go on. Once upon a time there existed a Modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested. It had come to Sigil following the commands of its Modron superiors. Go on. It knew of nothing but commands and dictates of obedience and passing along the orders of its superiors. For you see, Modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority until this one. One day it came upon a small shop within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hands broken. The Modron immediately set itself to work and getting the parts to fix the broken clock. Made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, carved new hands from the sparse metal available. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded of the great years of Mechanus, and it comforted as much as anything may comfort a Modron. And what the Modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock that it had work on. For reasons that it could not explain, elected to remain in Sigil to be with the clock for the rest of its years. Okay. Wes Burke's walking home real late near Anti-Peak and passes an old toothless crone on a dark and otherwise empty street. Where are you going? She asks him. Hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, where were we? Home to my wife and Kip, he says. Near the slag, she asks him. Sure enough. So she asks him a favor, to take a box she got to Debtor's Pit and give it to the woman there. Now, this Burke's a real sap, too nice to say no, despite the fact that he's sure something's not quite right when Beth's old Cronin agrees. What's the woman's name? He asks. Where's she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Debtor's Pit? A woman hands him a box, wooden thing wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, whatever. Oh, wow. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Debtor's Pit when it's light out. His wife, though, seeing him hiding the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up. Turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members, with the hair still on him. Her scream brought the Burke running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared, and wrapped the box back up. Went out straight away to Debtor's Pit, and sure enough, there was another old hag waiting for them. He hands her the box. It's just him. This box is open and looked into. The Bert tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. You've done something horrible, she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his kit. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. The next day, he died of a rotten disease. And the first thing to go was his eyes and stem. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone and again implored it as the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered while the stone did not a thing. Have we not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees, but the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. I shall impart the tale of Akali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Akali, a foolish Githzerai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Githzerai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small, habitable environment. Akali, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her isle of matter dissolved around her and she drowned. One day she encountered, which Akali was driven from the Githzerai cities of Shrokt lore for constant useless prattling. One day she encountered a Sladi on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Sladi found difficult to break down. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the Sladi's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matters of limbo. Oh, weird. Once upon a time, a girl came to an oracle who was rumored to know many things and asked of it a boon. Her life was in need of directions, and she asked of this oracle what would give her purpose. Now, the oracle was not evil, but it was vague and tended towards drink, which caused it to be obscure in many matters of judgment and focus. Its only answers to the girl's question was that within one story she would hear in her lifetime was the truth that she sought. The girl went off and collected stories, which she chases to this day, not knowing which of the thousands hold the truth. Such is the danger of a foolish question, the wisdom of an unspoken one. So,
I've learned some new tricks.
Nice. So let's look at our so let's level you. And we'll level you, and then we don't have any. That's fine. She like beating him up? Oh. Okay, that was weird. The wild-looking tiefling girl meets your gaze with an angry scowl. Her tattooed body is practically naked, covered only by a narrow leather thong, a black cloth brassiere, and armored shoulder pads that appear to serve more as decoration rather than actual protection. Her spiked hair, as well as the thin fur that covers her goat-like legs, is brassy white, and numerous silver rings dangle from her ears, nostrils, lips, and brow. She wears a leather collar around her throat with the inscription Kamaxi at her tongue. Kamaxi bears your teeth of you, and just what are you looking at, you banged up sod? You have questions. What makes you think I care? Why don't you lick my backside? Tongue's not wide enough. I don't like hair in my mouth. That's funny. Well, you seem to like the taste of offal in your mouth, you dung breath. Only because it's like kissing you, you mangy stinkpot. Kiss me, she makes a retching sound. I'd rather kiss a bloody mass of phlegm than lay my lips upon you. No thanks. Don't thank me, thank the powers of someone actually wants to kiss you. Kamaxi looks at a loss for something to say for an instant. A smile threatens to crack the grimacing mask of her face, then she becomes more of a basilisk than ever. Alright, what have you wanted me? Questions answered. Who are you? My name? Uninterested, can guess yours, though. Scarbunch, get out of here before I put a fire under your ass. What are you doing here? Not you, that's for certain. She smirks at you. I'm contemplating the best way to tell you off, to pike off next. Alright, I'm guessing that her thing is verbal abuse. Alright. This would be Kasai Saris. Alarmingly voluptuous, okay. Hello. And my greetings to you, sir. Her burning eyes roam over you. I am Kasai Saris, so tell me, what might I do for you? What do you usually do? Talk, of course, usually about dreams, often those erotic in nature, but not always. So would you like me to tell you yours? Don't be shy, I've heard everything you know. Or would you like to tell me yours? Nothing will shock or surprise me. I don't have dreams, actually. Truly, how sad even fiends and divas dream. You know, are you certain you don't? Quite certain. No dreams at all. Too peculiar. I'm at a loss what to say. I can see my answer doesn't please you. I'm plain touched, actually, like your friend there. Kasai indicates Anna. That's all you need to know. Student. That's right, the brothel is actually more of a school for women who are thinking of becoming sensates. Mistress Grace teaches us the way of language so that we can better identify with ourselves and those around us. No, that's pretty much it. Alright, let's go check the next one. Actually, let's do the next one in the next episode, because we're basically done with this episode. So, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like. If you didn't, don't. Questions, comments, concerns, they can all go below. Have a good night.